You are watching Omnus Protocol. I am Charles, also known as Omnus. I'm here with the co-host of Rarely Reserved, Sin, Droid Queen, and Knight of the Round Table.
Yes, indeed.
Well, we are continuing my journey into Age of Sigmar. So this is part 2. I do recommend if you're just hopping into this and you see this video, I think you watch the part 1 first so you can kind of start at the beginning of my journey. But before we dive into this video, I just wanted to shout out Zoe, who was in the store and was also playing Age of Sigmar. And as I was playing my very first game, she was like, hey, by the way, I saw the video that you posted in the Mox Discord. And I just thought it was a cool thing. And so even though I've been podcasting for a long time, I think just having someone like, hey, you're doing a new thing. And I liked it. Just felt really good and like a really great way to like start the first one. I know you were like kind of in the zone, like getting ready for the game.
I was so locked into what I was doing. I was like, I'm pulling, I have like a routine. Yeah. You know, the Eye of the Tiger is playing in the background. Like I'm locked in. Yeah.
Can you sing Eye of the Tiger? Is that a...
Now that I think about it, I'm not sure I know how that song goes.
Yeah.
Wait. I can't do it. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Eye of the I forgot all of your beasties' names.
Oh, like it's Eye of the Eye of the Morbig. It's the thrill of. Yeah.
Hey, if it were Illumina, it'd be double fight, right? Like the thrill of the double fight.
The thrill of the back-to-back activation. Rude.
Okay, well, before we dig into like how the game went, I just wanted to talk about models for a minute. So I finally got to you had shown me your Usharon. Like back in the day, I think before we even played Shatterpoint together, right? Mm-hmm. I think you had shown me at least pictures of your Usharon. This dude is so cool. And now that I know more about like the way that Flesh Eater courts, like their lore and stuff works, I like this guy even more.
Yeah, he's very cool sculpt, very thematic.
How much of the base is like his comes in the kit?
Most of it, actually. Almost all of it.
Did you texture the outside?
Yeah,
is that you?
The texture is me, but like everything else is part of it.
What is the texture? Like how did you do that?
I think that's just basalt by Huge Miniatures that I dry brushed and then put the same paint that I used on the rock on top of it.
Gotcha.
Easy.
But yeah, it was definitely cool because you and I did the Usharon versus Teclis fight for us.
It was not Usharon versus Teclis. Yeah. It was Altharian versus Usharon while Teclis watched.
He did stuff. Anyway, I didn't play any of these guys in the game, but this is kind of some of the stuff that I painted since. I'd gotten more of the gamer grass stuff with the pillars. I don't know. I was happy with how the Blade Lords turned out, but I have no lists for them.
Aww.
Like, I don't know where they would work in.
It's the ultimate tragedy, painting a cool model, and then it's like, well, I can't do anything with you. But if you stick with, Sigmar at all, I'm sure the next quarter the rules will be different, and then these will be the best thing in the game, you know?
Yeah, there doesn't seem like there's anything wrong with them. I don't know. My gut knowing very, very little about Age of Sigmar, they kind of feel very Counter-Strike-y to me. Like, oh, you came into my stuff. These guys will charge into you and do a whole lot.
Sure.
But I did want to shout out to you, I thought my tufting on Lyrior was the best tufting that I did. I did a lot of chopping up the tufts.
Oh, yeah.
And that sort of thing to create shapes and stuff that I wanted and blend them in together.
Yes. I'm fond of this decision making. I like that you put some in the actual sculpture.
Yeah. One of the things that I did kind of for the first time on this, because I do all sorts of basing goop on top, which is basically the it's a mixture of 2 different basing goops from Monument Hobbies.
Okay.
It's some of their coarse and some of their fine. Mixed together to have 2 different shapes, and then I'll paint over it. But you can poke into it, right? Because it doesn't dry rock hard.
No. But
what I found as I was messing around with the tufts on this one, because sometimes the tufts have those just very round edges that don't seem natural. Right? I found after I glue them down, especially if I let them dry for a minute, I can poke in the sides with the same tweezer that I was using to place them.
Yeah.
And I can just kind of poke in and create more, maybe jagged edges is kind of the right, where I just I rough up that edge of the of the grass to maybe make it look a little bit more natural.
Yeah, I always shove tufts into wet basing texture because then it just kind of eats it a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Messy
yeah,
work though.
I was pretty happy with how the tufting looks for him. He definitely was one as I was working on it. I'm like, all right, one more tuft. Okay, one more tuft. All right, wait, one more tuft.
Gardening.
Yes. Is that the official Tufts Anonymous term for
gardeners?
When you just want to keep tufting? But
yeah, I also just really like the color tuft. It's just a kind of a desaturated version of like the main color, and I think it accents the color scheme you chose. Nice.
Yeah, I actually like, so when I got it, I thought that maybe it matched too much. And so I started going through all of my other tufts and I was putting tuft like not glued down on the base, but I had a bunch of different shades of tufts and I didn't like how any of them looked. And then I came back to this one. I'm like, nope, I was right the first time. Yeah. I shouldn't have doubted myself.
To me, it really, like, since there's such a magical faction, in my head, none of that grass was there when they got there, and as they walk around, they just bloom grass.
The grass that, just like follows
literally
them.
Goes where they go.
I didn't think about that, but I kind of dig that now that you. Yeah. That's
why it matches.
Now that
it's like their magical grass. You're like,
yeah. It's supposed to be their realm, right? Like that's why I have all the ruins and stuff.
The grass is always tealer on their side.
Oh, I don't know if I can name the episode that, but I kind of want to. Like, how do I work that in? The grass is always tealer.
Yeah.
I did want to say, so just on the hobby side of things, now that I'm like further into the AoS journey, I'm really happy that I committed to the ruins on the base from the get-go. Because so many of the models have some ruins integrated on their base anyway. I always find it a little weird in a hobby game, right? Where all of a sudden something has something on a base that doesn't match the whole rest of the faction.
Sure.
And so like Lyriers, like this is built in, right? That just comes with that. And a lot of pieces have some sort of ruins. And so the fact I made it so like all of my characters have some ruins on their base, I actually am really happy with that decision. Like like as I get, not post, like not like I'm done with AoS, but it's further along in the journey.
Now having the cohesion's cool. I'm like, I have a problem making things look a little busy because I just love basic. Yeah. But I think these are the right amount of like, they've got more going on than if you had just placed the dudes down, but it's not chaotic.
Yeah, I definitely don't like when a model just like feels like way too busy, and I tend to like lean towards like less colors overall. And so like every time I'm adding a color, I'm nervous about it, where I just don't want it to look too busy.
Sure, yeah.
But okay, well, let's talk about play. So I did one other hobby thing. Sure. I just want to like shout out the annoyance when I did the river blades and found out after I had based and done the basing on all 10 river blades, I realized that 5 of the river blades were on different sized bases. Yep. And I just did not assume that a 10-man unit would have 5 on one base size and 5 on another base size. And maybe that's just too much wargaming experience that I made assumptions. But I also, there's an element of having like, what is it, 32 millimeter? And then there's like a 28 millimeter.
Yeah.
And like, there's a part of me that's like, is it necessary to have those 2 different sizes? Because you have a lot of guys on the 28 millimeter, right? Yeah. You had a lot of like little
of my little dudes. Yes. Honestly, yes. Because could you imagine my ghouls on those bases?
That's fine.
No. This is elite infantry. My ghouls are chaff.
Okay.
We have to have the smaller base for chaff infantry.
Yeah.
It's very important.
Yeah. Yeah, it was just something I was like, is it better or worse that there's a bunch of different base sizes? Like more than I would have expected. Like coming from War Machine, you know, like by the time I stopped playing War Machine, I think there was just like 4 base sizes. I think they've added 1 more since then.
Like 4 total?
4 total base sizes.
Of a certain shape?
Yes.
Oh, so like they have 4 circles and 4 ovals?
No, they just have 4 circles. I think now they have 5 circles. They did not have any ovals.
Wow.
So like coming to this where there's like so many different sizes, I don't think there's anything wrong with it necessarily. It is just like there is a little bit of a learning curve where I would not have assumed like quite so many options.
Sure.
But overall from a hobby perspective, I will say like I don't remember if I mentioned this in the first part of the journey, but I definitely I'm definitely getting why like Warhammer and like GW, because GW is basically calling themselves Warhammer now, right? Like that's what their company logo is Warhammer.
They changed the name of their paint line. Yeah.
Well, I believe like even like the way they are on like the stock exchange is now Warhammer, not GW.
They're getting over themselves a little bit, probably. Yeah. I don't know.
I heard it has more to do with like how you Google search and stuff, and like people search for Warhammer, they don't search for Games Workshop.
Well, new people, yeah.
But I will just say like I definitely get like why it's a hobby game first. Like there is so much to like the hobby side of this, and like it definitely feels like it takes more technical acumen to assemble the models, and it feels more like a kid putting together a model car for the first time. Even though I have tons of years of assembling models, I feel a little bit more amateur when I'm putting this stuff together. Like it's a little bit more of a challenge.
The very first model I ever assembled, like of any kind, was actually an Age of Sigmar kit that I bought before I knew what wargaming was, because I was like, oh, these would look cool in a D&D campaign, and I didn't realize they didn't come assembled.
Oh,
let me tell you, teaching yourself how to assemble miniatures sucks. But it's better now. I think that like Warhammer is harder than some of the newer companies who are better at making easy to build stuff. Is harder than like, you know, the WizKids D&D minis, but I think Warhammer is a little easier than Gundam to assemble, if I'm being honest with you.
Yeah, I haven't assembled Gundam stuff, so I can't really speak to that. But yeah, I'll just at least when I like got into my first assembly game, I started off assembling like fairly big stuff.
Oh, okay.
And so I think I had assembled a fair amount of stuff before I ever assembled like a dude,
little guys
who was this size. So I think I had like a little bit of a kind of getting over that hill first in a smooth order. But like we've talked about it, right? Where you do not trim all of the models off all the bits off the sprue before you assemble them. Nope. That is chaos in this.
Yeah. Let's play needle in the haystack as we build a model.
All right. Let's talk AoS gaming, because I got to play my first game. But I wanted to ask you, because I know going into this, I had told you, I'm like, I had watched before we played our first full game of Big Mar. Big Mar is the technical term.
Yep.
So I had watched a demo, then I had watched, I think, part of a game at least. No, I'd watched a full game at least. Then we did a spearhead. And in the week leading up to us finally playing, I watched at least 3 full games of people playing my faction on the Honest Wargamer channel. And I think I made you a little bit nervous because I told you how much I was watching games before we played.
Yeah. I'm like, man, I don't think I spent this long writing my vows. Oh, man.
Dear Usharon, you are the love of my life.
The dead in my heart.
Yeah.
The bleeding in my stomach.
I may have delusions, but my love for you is true.
So cute. No, I kid. But like, I think I was like, oh no, I haven't played in a fat minute. I don't have time to like watch videos before we play. We're just gonna be up in this. But I mean, it was a little bit late because I had to reschedule it once, but like, we did it.
Well, no, I hadn't watched a bunch of those before the reschedule.
Oh, so like, I could have got you sooner.
You could have got me sooner.
The reschedule is what
the reschedule. I watched most of the games post reschedule, and I think part of it was that I was starting to build like hype up enough. Like, I didn't want to give you shit. You had very legit reasons for
and obviously
canceling
because I didn't want to. It was just legitimate. Like I can no longer do it today,
but. It was after that where I started like getting into like watching more stuff. I think it was just like I wanted to take another step with the game. Like patience is not my virtue.
No, me either.
Right? Like delayed gratification is not my thing. Yeah. So the fact that I had 3,000 points painted before playing a full game.
That I was okay. I'm really okay. I will admit I have significant stress relief now that you were like, spoiler alert, I at least had a good time, I think.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I'm going to feel so bad if we get through this game and Omnus is like, Nah. Oh my.
Yeah, I'm gonna put this stuff up for sale now. Yeah. Fuck this.
Like, I just see you in the, like, chat, like, I'm offloading 3,000 points of painted Lumina. Does anyone interested? Like, oh, no, I'm directly responsible for this.
I mean, if I wanted to get out of it, I might be able to make at least, like, 10% profit right now. I feel like with Lumina being very good and having, like, a pretty...
Yeah, but with what you have done, too, it's like, it's not like, oh, here's a list. It's like, no, here's options.
Yeah, you got, like, a little bit of flexibility, at least. No, I'm not getting out of it. I enjoyed the game. And even, like, we were playing, and I think somebody came by and just complimented, like, I think 2 people came by and 3 people came by and complimented how cool the table was and the models and, like, just visually.
And the Yonga, the little kid.
Yep. Oh, and there was the kid who was watching too. Yeah, I forgot about him. So really there was like 4 people who were like, at least I'm going to go enamored with. And, but I think because of how much we had painted, there was definitely an element of like, I almost felt like one of the guys who walked by was like, ooh, here's some experts. Right.
Yeah. And I kind of went out of my way to get like the matching sets of terrain and stuff too of like.
Yep. I appreciated that though. I thought the terrain choice, because I had no idea how to set up a table.
Yeah. No, yeah. So I'm like, I can't just grab random stuff. I gotta grab matching stuff.
Yeah. So like going into the game, like I had a few goals. Well, one, I wanted to like experience making the decisions for my runes in person, like live, right? You can hypothetically go, oh, I would use this at this time and this at this time.
Sure.
I really wanted to go through the experience of like choosing my runes. 2, I wanted to get an idea of what like an actual table setup is in person. For some reason, that's something I didn't absorb as well from videos. Not that there was anything wrong with the videos that I watched, but it wasn't like they explain in the video, this terrain is here because it's on the, what is the card called? Is it that like...
Oh, the battle plan card?
The battle plan.
Sure.
Yeah. It's not like they explained, like the battle plan lays out the terrain this way. Like it's not like they were explaining that in the video, which is fine. I think that's probably stuff that you were assuming that the viewer knows. And so like understanding how that works and just like kind of going through each of the steps and experiencing them firsthand. So that part was like my primary goal. And I will say, you nailed it on all of those accords.
Thank you. I tried.
Did you have any goals for the game?
I told you I did, and I failed it.
Oh wait,
but
what was your goal again?
Not like make it through, like not end the game as early as it ended. Basically, was my only goal, but it was fine. It's like you said, we still play for like 5 hours. Yeah,
I think we were at least playing. I mean. I would say 4 hours. We still probably spent 4 hours on it based on like we got to the store just a little bit later than we expected and we had takedown. But I think we were like all together playing and we had like a couple of like weird rules interactions that we were trying to make sure that we weren't fucking up.
Yeah. Stuff I did not expect.
But yeah, so I do want to talk. So I want to talk about double turning for a second.
Seizing the initiative.
Seizing the initiative. That is probably the thing that makes me the most nervous about AoS is that being in a bad spot and then getting double turned feels like it could be a really unfun thing to go through as part of like a convention or a tournament or just like, hey, this is my one game in this like month, right? And just like go through a really rough double turn. My first game, I double turned you. You won, or you had control of who goes first. So you chose for me to go first. Or, no, you chose to have you go first. And then I won the priority role and elected to double turn because, honestly, at the end of round 1, even though, like, I had felt like I did a good job of, like, mitigating your turn 1, I feel like I took a lot of damage when I came into you. And it, that mind you, like, I don't feel like you gotcha'd me or anything, but like the Ushuran, like making my dude strike last so that your chaff got to beat up on my chaff first. That was not something I expected. And I was like, oh, okay. But what so you have obviously played a lot more AoS than me. Almost said Age OS. Age of Sigmar or AoS. What are your thoughts, like, for just somebody who's maybe like starting a journey? Like, is double turn good, bad, neutral?
It's part of it, I guess, is the neutral statement. Like, I know that the other, like, 40K hates the concept of it, and but the thing is, with how the rules are written, there's no way to get rid of it right now. Like, maybe in another edition they can say, fine, we'll get rid of the double turn, but it's too much part of the game right now.
Yeah.
And it is one of those things that's not impossible to come back from if you know what you're doing, but it can, especially the more casual play is and the more unlucky that you get in timing, feel very bad. Because it does feel like a moment of like, well, I'm just completely out of control of, you know, what's happening to me. But there is a part of Sigmar which is based around the threat of the double turn.
Yes.
I did not, by choosing to go first, I opened myself up to the threat of the double turn. So I was kind of gambling on that not happening, and it obviously backfired. So,
yeah, it seems like maybe in retrospect, you could have let me go first because a lot of my spells would have, like, I dealt a fair amount of damage to you with spells, which would have not happened. I still would have gotten a lot of the range shots, I think, that I did. Or not a lot, but I would have at least gotten the Wind Chargers, and the Severeth would have still gotten to shoot you. But then you probably are threatening me with way more stuff.
I'll be honest with you. I wasn't expecting... I've never played into Lumineth. I haven't played into Lumineth since they changed all their rules. And I wasn't expecting a lot of the things that happened to happen. Hindsight being 2020, I should have picked different battle tactics and not taken the first turn. But again, hindsight's 2020, so...
Flesh Eater Courts, would you describe them as a Alpha Strike team? Because you had like some fast cavalry and like good hitting power. Like, is it a thing where you want to like clash into me right away and try to take some stuff off the board?
A lot of it depends on the list, but like a lot of stuff does benefit from charging. Like, so it does want to kill things and run across, but I don't know. It's like, it's finesse, but also, like, there's no shooting.
Yes.
There's not as many spells as something like Lumineth. And it's a little more... and then part of it is random. Like, the delusions are a little bit random.
Yeah.
So, like, you're not always in control of what's going on. So...
Yeah, so obviously, like, in the situation, and I'm curious what you thought. So we get done with the first round one, and I felt like you came forward, took a bunch of positioning on the board.
Sure.
And then I came into you, I shot, I did spells, and then push come to shove. And maybe it was just because I had damage spread out from the spells, but I was feeling like at the end of turn one, I was like, I felt like I was in a bad spot, but you have more experience where you're like, that was totally neutral. I don't think it was like leaning one way or the other. Or were you like, no, that definitely, your fights did not go as well for you as you probably would have liked.
So had I had you not redeployed in my turn, I would have been very well set.
Yeah.
But the fact that you redeployed and I was stuck in the far right, unable to do anything, and then you just went around me, and like, if you don't engage with me on your turn, there wasn't a ton I could do. Like, you were outside of countercharge range, or like a feasible countercharge range. So it's like, so I had like a reinforced, like 2 units, one reinforced that were just doing nothing, and then you coming around in the center. So I was like, at the middle point of that, had you not got to take the double turn, I think it could have maybe evened out.
Been
but
very much more even.
But if I had succeeded that, if you had not redeployed and I succeeded that charge, it would have much more been leaning in my favor.
Right. Well, we'll get to the redeploy in a second, because I want to talk about those things. But I just mean, like, at the end of turn one, do you think we were actually neutral, or do you think I was in a bad spot? I just felt like I was in a bad spot.
No, I think solidly
neutral. Okay.
Neutral.
So yeah, I think like that's just one of the things I'm trying to like kind of keep my finger on the pulse, right? Of like how intense is the double turn? Did it feel like, I feel like when I double turned you, like the next turn, I felt like I accomplished a lot. And
that went about as badly as it could have possibly gone for me. Yeah. Not great.
Okay, so double turn, still a question mark, and something I want to keep on my radar about like how much do I love this game? Because I do think the double turning, seizing the initiative, could be a thing that like that could be a make or break thing for the game. And it's still something that I don't know how I feel about it yet. Because I feel like it allowed me to take control of the game.
Sure.
But I could also see a situation where a double turn could bring someone back from the brink of, like, obviously not too late in the game, but could have something go badly and then get to double turn. And like that is actually their path to salvation.
Yes.
Yeah. So I could see it going both directions. And so I haven't settled that. But I feel like from the outside in, that's a thing that people would, I feel like that's a thing that people would worry about.
Oh, I mean, it's very, very, very divisive.
Okay. I want to talk about command points though. Like,
sure.
That is probably my favorite thing about Age of Sigmar is the command point system. What, you seem surprised. What is your favorite part of Age of Sigmar?
Not command
on the
points.
spot.
That's not hobby related. My favorite thing about like the game.
Yeah, the game. That you get delusions.
But I get delusions.
That's okay. I put you on the
spot.
About it. I think the command point system is really interesting, and I love redeploy, countercharge, covering fire.
Sure.
All of those things and like how you utilize them feels like it can definitely make or break a game in a really good way. We were kind of talking a little earlier about my redeploy where your cav were coming around like the outside, right? And my river blades looked like they were potentially getting charged.
Yeah.
And I forget exactly how far out we were.
I had like a 4-inch charge, which I was almost guaranteed to get because I had a +1 to charge.
Yeah. I think it might have been something where you needed like a 5 on the dice or something, but it was like not very far out. And then I'm like, well, I'm going to go for a redeploy because I was like, even if I get like a 3, you suddenly needing like an 8.
That's a big difference.
Right? And I felt like the command point was worth that risk. And I rolled a 6.
You did.
And so suddenly there was like
no chance.
Or it might have been something where you needed like a fucking 11 or something.
Yes.
Yeah, it was. And you did not get it.
Did not get
and
it.
So that side of the board was just totally trapped on this edge.
Yeah.
And that is something I will say I'm good at, pivoting. Right? I'm like, that point is yours. Sin, that zone, you can sign your name on it. That is Sin's zone. Sin's objective.
I was banished to Antarctica because like I didn't just need to tag that unit to slow them down and like hopefully end them, but I needed to tag that unit because my battle tactic depended on me being on that side of the board.
Yeah.
And without the extra distance from charging, I was stuck. So, whoops.
And then they literally just teleported to the other side of the board anyway, so they were like not even around you.
It was really bad for me because it wasn't just, oh, now they're gone. It was, now they're gone, and there's nothing even within a 12-inch counter charge. Anything. They were literally an island unto themselves, a reinforced unit of cavalry, and one of
How many points is that unit of cavalry?
I don't remember off the top of my head. I'm bad at that.
You can't just remember these numbers. I was just curious about how much I trapped over there.
You trapped 360. Wait.
Well, plus there was the other
460 points.
Yeah, so I practically trapped a quarter of your army. Like
yes,
out of things.
Did not. Yeah. It was bad planning.
Well, and they were weirdly also within range where they were taking damage from spells.
I got close. Well, I got within 18 inches, which was, again, my worst possible scenario happened. I didn't tag them. They teleported, and I'm just sitting there ready for Tackless to, give me the evil eye and be like, get bent, idiot.
But, like, there was multiple instances, like, when your cav on the other side countercharged into my stuff, I saw it coming.
Sure.
I figured you were probably going to do that, but I felt like my cav going in so Altharion could try to beat up on the terrain was worth it. Because you had your spellcaster in your terrain piece, your throne.
Yeah.
And I thought it was worthwhile to get into engagement so that would allow me to summon Altharion up on that side of the board to help chew up things over there.
Yeah.
And you countercharged. Obviously, there's a consideration that maybe Altharion should have actually gone into the cav and not into the terrain piece.
Yeah, well, what I would, like, you had no way of knowing this, and I did not consider that you wouldn't know this, but, like, if you had got, like, he's in the train feature, when the train feature is ruined or, you know, has its health characteristic dropped to 0, it leaves the board. You have to put the steward, which is whoever's in the throne, down.
Yeah.
If there's nowhere around it to put him down, i.e. you're surrounded, he just dies. So, like,
well, I wasn't surrounding it, but
you could have forced him to be far enough away that he couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
Versus just Altharion being there, I was kind of able to put him where I wanted to put him, but like that's like
in retrospect, I think it probably would have been worthwhile, like more worthwhile to go into the other guys. But I was thinking I needed to kill that thing at some point so that I could eventually kill that hero.
Well, I think you got stuck getting like, oh, I'm going to get 5 points from killing him versus I had another reinforced unit of Morbeg Knights there. And if you had put Altharion into them, I was like sweating. I was like, oh my gosh, Altharion will just eat them. And then I am totally screwed. Because, like, yes, my hero might be worth points to you, but he's kind of trash for me.
Yeah.
He's my infantryman hero and he sucks. So, like,
in War Machine, I definitely like looked at it as like killing worker models versus killing support models, right? Like if there's just support models left in the late game, like you usually can't win.
Right. So you went after a support. Early.
Right. And that's where like maybe it would have been better for me to like, but I was thinking like, well, this is free. You don't get to attack me. I have no consequences. And so I was thinking preserving Altharion was part of it, but maybe I should have trusted that you needed to attack the cav and not him. The cav are so much more valuable to me than him in that moment because like I can use him to potentially bring them back. Yeah. But not reliably. And also like the cavalry, like they're my main damage dealers. And so if I lose them, I can't move very far because I'm just left with the ghouls who are slow. And then they have specific times when they are very good versus the cavalry who are kind of consistent. Yeah. Yeah. So obviously you didn't say like, oh, command points. You were surprised that command points were probably my favorite thing. Do you like the layers of like the countercharging and the redeploying and the covering fire? I think I felt surprised. I think that what you're saying is commands are your favorite thing and not the points. Oh, yeah. I mean, I thought of them all together as like the system. Yes. Right? That's why I was confused. I was like, the points themselves. Interesting. The commands are really cool and give you a lot of interactability with your opponent's turn. Yeah. Because like feeling like, well, I'm just going to go grab a beer while you do stuff for 20 minutes kind of sucks. If you're in it and there's something that you can do in most of your opponent's turn. So you're like kind of keeping, like, obviously I don't have, covering fire because the flesh eater courts don't believe in guns, but or arrows or any ranged weapon at all. But like, pretty much you can interact with your opponent's turn in a lot of ways, and I think having that going around keeps, even though it's a entire activation, back and forth type of deal, you're still involved beyond just roll 3, 5 ups. It reminded me a little bit of like, I don't play Magic the Gathering much anymore, but there's counter spells in Magic the Gathering, right? Sure. And they're like, they're like, you're going to attack. I'm like, I'm going to kill your creature before you attack. Or like there's all sorts of like interaction on another person's turn. And I found it very interesting that there was these like, all right, I have this whole plan, but I've got to think about you countercharging. I've got to think about you doing these other things. And even if you don't do them, I still have to play around them.
Yes.
Right? And I like that aspect of it where like I've got to think about the fact that you can do these things.
Sure.
Even if you don't do it, like you can still force me because you left a lane to countercharge. Like, because I think that was one of the problems is like Usharon couldn't countercharge because he was always like pinned by dudes.
He's stuck. Yeah. He also has a huge base, and that can be a problem with huge base models is they don't fit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that I'm really glad they made the changes to all out attack and all out defense because like in the before times, that's pretty much all command points were for is all out attack and all defense. And then they made those objectively worse, which was a good thing. Yeah. Because it meant that the game got more interesting because people were using those other things.
Yeah, just rolling better dice is not like...
It's not fun.
Yeah. Like, we're already rolling a bunch of dice. We've already embraced. It actually probably leads to more disappointment. You're like, well, I all out attacked and then I failed. Nothing. I should have definitely...
Yeah. I like people... Of course, gamers are always going to do the thing that's the most strategically beneficial. So if you make the most strategically beneficial thing just roll dice better, then that's what's going to happen. So... I think them, as much as people griped about it in the beginning, removing it made the game more interesting.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I will say kind of like as we get kind of into like closing thoughts from the experience, I do want to work on some sort of Lumineth featured terrain, like do my own Lumineth table, basically.
Exciting.
And I would like to start working towards having a list. Cause like I played a Highlander list against you. I did not have duplicates of anything.
You crushed me with a Highlander list. Wow.
I didn't even know that was a thing. I was just like, this was kind of what fit. Cause you said we should do Usharon versus Teclis.
Again, it wasn't Usharon. It was Usharon Altharion.
Yeah.
And he won.
Altharion was definitely a boss. I like the model.
MVP,
yeah. He did a lot of work. I mean, Teclis did a lot with like all of the spells. And so like, but that's really hard. Like one of the things that I think is hard to judge about what I was playing was that I was just rolling a lot of D3 stuff across a lot of characters. And so it wasn't like, oh, I go in and I focus fire a thing down. It's like, I was just like spread around damage.
Teclis was the like support piece MVP. And then Altharion was like the beating stick MVP. Yeah. Like, he was up close and personal.
We're not gonna like dig into the nitty gritty of it, but like, I do feel like I felt smart when I like figured out a way to like sneak him into combat somewhere else where like, like I killed stuff so that he wasn't engaged with guns and then managed to perfectly like set up so he got to teleport to another like really key fight. And I was very like, I was impressed with how it worked because you were like, because we both had strike last mechanics, right? Yeah. You had strike last mechanics from Oosh, and I had some from the Rune of Petrification. And so we were manipulating each other and trying to get around each other's shit, which was fun. But I just wanted to thank you that you kind of like got me into this journey. And I feel like I'm learning a lot from coming into something where I kind of know nobody except you.
Yeah. We've already met.
Yeah, I'm meeting people.
Yeah, it's exciting.
You know, Carrick, Chris we want to do a game. Yes. Zoe seems super dope. I think she just has Spearhead and stuff at the moment, but I would definitely be down to play a game with Zoe at some point. Cameron.
Yep, Cameron.
Also super dope. I haven't really like seen his army or anything. I haven't seen him playing AoS, but he's like come by and talked.
He does a lot of different games, yeah.
But yeah, do you have any closing thoughts about, is it weird for you to be bringing someone that has so much gaming experience where you're like sort of teaching, but I'm also like a fucking obsessive wargamer?
Yeah, it is definitely a unique one of like, I think you already understood most. There's a couple things I think you just didn't get because they're not written out anywhere very explicitly in the rule set, but it's like, this is just what is known.
Oh, yeah. Let's talk about that for a second. I struggled with, because charging happens before fighting.
Yes.
Right? And when you charge, to successfully charge, you have to get within a half inch. And so in my head, half inch is combat range.
Yeah, no.
But that is not the case. And so I definitely, prior to this, I thought the biggest negative I thought of AoS is I think a half an inch is too small for a combat range in general. I think it's way smoother to do at least a 1. And And so I thought that was a weird choice. But then as we kind of realized, because I think I was asking questions and you were like, well, that question doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I was really confused by the question. Like,
but once it was like, oh, no, it's just to succeed a charge as a half an inch. Being in melee with all of this stuff is range 3. And that, I think, just in the journey of what I learned and what people were talking about, like, I'm just not sure I ever heard someone say that. And because it didn't really, because in AoS, right, or in the Spearhead, we didn't have enough models for that to really ever come into play. And I never heard someone say it in any of the videos that I watched. So that I didn't get. And so like 3 inches, I think is great. I think that's more than enough. I would have been totally fine with 1 to 2. And so like, I agree that give that half an inch of just like give on the charge. I like, and then, but you're in melee in range 3. I liked that. Once I like got it. It took, I know it was a little bit of like a journey to like get me over the hump. You're like, Charles, what is it about this that you're not fucking understanding?
Oh, I think that's why you were getting frustrated with me. And I was like, what am I not saying? Oh, yes. Right. Like the combat range is 3 inches for everyone in all of Age of Sigmar.
Yeah. Somehow I just got in my brain that combat range was the half inch. And so that's where
that'd be crazy town, yeah.
I was trying to like crisscross in my brain. Well, it was fine. It felt like something I could get over because there was in like War Machine, there was a lot of things that the combat range was a half an inch.
That's crazy.
Like for a long time when I played, most things had half inch and then some things had 2 inch and then like some things had like 3 to 4 if they were like a tentacle monster.
Sure.
And then when they went to 4th edition, they added some things that had the 1 inch and they utilized that more often. And I felt like that was really nice. But yeah, I think the 3 inches is totally fine. Like just think of it in the abstract. The sword doesn't have to be 3 inches long, but you're just engaged. Like you're close enough that you imagine that there is a fight going on. And I'm fine with that. Yeah. So I think that improved my, both my understanding and my opinion of the game once it like clicked.
Sure.
Okay, well, again, I appreciate that you are going on this journey with me.
Yeah.
I don't know how many of these specific diary entries will always have Sin on them, but I was really important to me to do the Spearhead demo with you and like play my first game with you because you're the best.
Aw, thank you. I just want you to know I'm coming for you.
Yes, yeah, I want to be ooshed at some point. I want this guy to mace me in the face. I was a little sad when I killed him before he got to attack me. He didn't get to do
anything. It was so sad. Well, I will, okay, after my surgery, I will have 10 days where I get to do nothing other than nothing.
Yeah.
I'm going to study the blade. We're going to figure out how to get you, how to fight Lumineth. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
The answer is waiting 3 months for
Altharion
rules update.
Yeah, I don't know if there's any part of the Usharon model that I want to like put as a dead bit on my Altharion.
I do have a lot of ghoul pieces if you'd like some battlefield scatter.
All right. Well, we're going to close out this, diary entry video log or whatever this is, and I look forward to like continuing this. And I'll just say like probably what I'm going to work on probably like between now and maybe like the next episode, I'm going to like try to have a list that like feels like a list as opposed to just a bunch of models that I happen to have painted. And try to be something like, I have a goal with this list.
Gotcha.
As opposed to just learning a bunch of models. But I have no problem with like, hey, I played a bunch of different things and got a feel for how a bunch of different things in my faction works. But yeah, I think the next thing is going to be, I want a list where I have a plan, and I'm going to try to execute that plan.
I'm scared.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine. All right. We'll close things out there. And the most OP thing that you can do is try another game. Later, nerds.